Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and for your replay today we have a player named LetholDose, and he's in the GW E100 and he's on Sand River Assault, defending. Okay, battle goes underway. Is he going to relocate? Looks like it. Always a wise decision to relocate on Sand River, because one of the flanks of attack is to come through the pass at E1 F1 and attack this side of the map before they go to the cap. He's setting up not far away from the spawn. That may make him vulnerable if they can locate where he is. Okay, he's extended his aim. And he's looking near the village, and there's a Type 4 heavy making his way down. Very slowly. Rounds out. No, he's not fired yet. I thought for a second he'd fired, but the reticule went out. Now he's fired. And it splashed the Type 4 for 306 hit points. And tracked him. Those shots are just bouncing off, but he has got some stun. Okay, and there's some stun assist as well. Alright, he's decided to go for this T-32 and this M103. Now, as I say, these are the tanks that were actually headed for the route that I mentioned earlier, E1 F1, one of the routes of assault. And there's also a T110 E3 approaching as well. He fires. And a direct hit on the M103, and he stuns the other tanks. Okay, the tank that went through there was a M41 Bulldog. He was just doing a quick scout, see if he could see any of the defenders. We've lost sight of those, the M103 and the T110E3, but we can see that the M41 skirted around them as he went out, so we know where they are, the general area, but we just can't see them. There's nobody spotting down in that direction, so it'd be very difficult for anyone to tell. But he's looking at this M41 Bulldog who's gone around. He's lost sight of him. No. How about that? Oh yes, the M41's come down again. He's coming to the riverbank. Okay, he's lining up a shot on the Type 4 Heavy. Trying to get it right. Rounds out. And it's a direct hit and kills the M4 Heavy. Type 4 Heavy. I think that was actually a splash hit rather than a direct hit. Didn't seem to be the fizzle or thump of a round hitting the side. And we've seen a Fock go down there. And the T110E4 is in the riverbank galley. No sign of the M103 or the T110E3. If we're going to see them, they'll appear in grid square F1. But he's having a look at that M41 again. Probably moving too fast for him to hit him. And it looks like that T110E3, no, T110E4 rather, is playing Arty safe. It's going to be a difficult shot to hit that M41, but he's actually stationary. That's a bit of a mistake. And somebody's requested fire on the T-32. Okay, so he takes aim. Rounds out. And a direct hit. That was a hit. 380 hit points and a good 15-second stun. And we can see now that that T110E3 has appeared in grid square E1 and about to move into F1, try and attack on the west route. No other targets in this area. Okay, LetholDose is now looking at that M41 Walker Bulldog again, who's still rather stationary, all things considered. He's in a very dangerous position. And a round goes in and hits the M41 for 477 hit points, and he gets some stun assist as well. And he's been taken out of the game. That was a bit silly. He should have moved away from that position. The moment he was spotted, he should have pulled away. And that's what happens if a scout stays in one position too long. The Arty will pay attention and take them out of the game. Okay, he's lining up a shot on this T-32. He can just get it over the rock, rounds out, and it hits the rock face. That's unfortunate. He's looking around for his next target. That T-124 has moved further down the riverbank. Okay, here comes the T-110E3 making the attack through F1, and he's being followed by the T-32, who's actually headed towards the riverbank. He's joining the other tanks in the gully. No, he's changed direction and he's headed up in to the west side of the dunes area. Now LetholDose is aiming at that T-110E4. A direct hit, 244 hit points, out the game. Okay, he's relocating. He could have done this earlier in the game actually. Those dunes are a bit of a problem. The closer those enemies are to him, the less likely he's going to be able to loop the shell over those dunes at them. Yes, he's got a red line at the moment. That means those dunes are in the way. He has to move further east or he won't be able to hit them at all. Okay, he can hit things that are much further east. Looking at this LTTB at the other end of the riverbank. Or the riverbed, I should say. He fires a shot. Oh, that was lucky. The LTTB moved back right into the path of the shell. He moved out of the path of the shell. Then he moved back into it and got wiped out. Fantastic. 509 hit points off that one. Okay, it's a Leopard prototype up on the ridge line. He's decided to move east. It's probably a wise decision because that way at least he'll be able to get at this T-110E3, which is getting ever closer to him. And the only friend or friendly tank is a Gorilla 15, who's a lot closer to him than to the enemy. And the enemy's gone unsighted as well. Now he's looking at the area where that Jag Panther 2 is, but now a T-49's popped up in the river bed. And he's moving east. No, he's gone unsighted. Decided to leave that one. Okay, LetholDose is moving again. Hopefully, no, he's decided to turn around and fire. I think he's going after that Jag Panther. Yes, he is. You can see the Jag Panther. Lining up a shot, rounds out. Just over the top of that Jag Panther. That Jag Panther driver doesn't know how lucky he was. He may have seen that shell zip over the top of his tank and realised, oh my god, he's just attacked. But there's a T-110E3 very close to LetholDose now. You can see he's only a grid square away, and there's only 1 minute 56 seconds left on the clock. Now that T-110E3 is going to be looking for him. He knows there's an artillery in this corner of the map. It looks as if LetholDose is going to have to shotgun that T-110E3 if he comes close. And we also know that the other enemy tanks are moving into near the cap. So it looks like they're gathering to cap as quickly as they can. Lining up a shot on the prototype. He's stationary, rounds out. Direct hit, kills it for 128 hit points. It looked like that Leopard prototype had been tracked by the tank he took down. And then of course he got killed in return. Still reloading, 10 seconds to go. And only 1 minute left on the clock. Okay, we've got that T-49. He's attacking an Object 704 in the in this little gully. Oh my god, look at the number of tanks in there. And he fires a shot and he kills the Jag Panther 2 and the T-49 with one shot. And that was a Bombardier he scored. Unfortunately, the Object 704's gone down. And the M103 is making his way out of the gully. Somebody's in the capping, and now LetholDose is all on his own. And there's only 28 seconds on the clock left. If he survives the next 22 seconds, he gets a Kolobanov Medal. He's got 6 kills up already, so he's got a Top Gun. He fires a shot into the cap speculatively. See if he can reset the cap. It looks like the enemy have pulled out of the cap. They're looking for him. They're hunting him. They know the general area he's in, but they've run out of time. And that's the end of the battle. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a second-class tanker and a Bruiser medal, but it's a Kolobanov medal that he won. And a Bombardier and a Top Gun for 6 kills. That's absolutely marvellous. 3,438 hit points of damage, 6 kills, 797 base hit XP. If we look at the detail, he fired 12 shots, 6 direct hits and penetrations, 7 with splash, 3,438 damage, all from more than 300 meters. He caused damage to an ally of 28 hit points, but obviously that was in the gully where he was trying to save the object 704. He damaged 10 vehicles, destroyed 6. Damage to enemy vehicles stunned by him was 970, and he caused 6 stuns. Now he's got a premium account, so he earned 56,715 credits. Fine him 405 credits for damaging a friend, and that left him with 56,310. If you deduct the ammunition, he comes out of it with 31,350 credits. His XP was 1196 times 2 for first victory of the day, left him with 2,392 XP. So all in all, brilliant. He's managed. It may have only been a second-class tanker, but it earned him a Kolobanov and a Bombardier and a Top Gun. And the Kolobanov is one that everyone wants to have in their awards inventory. So well done, LetholDose. If you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you in the next one.